In this video, I'm going to talk about my personal biggest 5 conclusions out of the 2024 election. This could be for any race. Number 5 is that U.S. House elections are always going to be close. We're never going to see those large margins where someone has the House by like 30 or 40 seats anymore. Nay. That's not happening. The fact that Republicans had a 22 to 213 majority coming in, lost seats, and still kept the House is incredible. They now have a 220 to 215 majority. We'll see how long that lasts. And it's just crazy to see how tight the House can get. Remember, Democrats also had a 222 to 213 majority in 2020. It's very clear that it's going to be very even in terms of House seats in most elections for the foreseeable future. Also, elections like 2018, where Democrats flipped 41 seats, or like 2010, when Republicans flipped 63 seats, likely gone the way of the dodo bird as well. With, I don't think that they'll be able to really have those big elections. 20 seats might become a wave at some point. And I'm being dead serious when I say that because of how tight, the House has become. Number 4, there is going to be a very difficult time getting reelected if you are in a hostile state. And this is why Susan Collins 2026, I know this is a political unicorn, but still, there's a very good chance that Maine seat could flip. And the reason why I say this is because look at what happened in 2024. Granted, I know it's a favorable environment for Republicans, and I know that Manchin was retiring to West Virginia was pretty much an automatic pickup for Republicans, but Republicans still flipped Montana and Ohio in that election where, again, very hostile states to Democrats recently. They really only maintained their seats in 2018 by nature of being a blue wave. In 2012, Obama carried Ohio because there was still a swing state back then, and Tester was able to win because the nation was less polarized back then. I think he was first elected in 2006, which was in a blue wave. So again, this really shows that it's very tough to survive in a state that does not agree with you politically or that is not close to you politically. It really shows how polarization of the nation has gotten with Tester and Brown being defeated. And even Casey's defeat in Pennsylvania, though, that was a much closer race. And Pennsylvania is a swing state where they did elect a Democrat in 2022, so that's a little bit confusing to me. Anyway, number 3, my third biggest takeaway, is that the traditional swing states that we were once used to, for the most part, are no longer swing states. Florida is now safely on the Republican side, which people sort of thought after 2020, but 2024 really confirmed it. Remember, Trump only won Florida by 1 point in 2016. He wins the state by 3 points in 2020, but in 2024, he wins the state by 13 points. So really just shows how far to the right Florida has gotten. Ohio is a state that, again, 2016 was a warning sign when Trump carried it by 8 points, and when he held it by 8 points in 2020, again, pretty obvious that Ohio is no longer a swing state, but again, 2024 really confirmed the result when Ohio voted for Trump by 11 points. And Iowa, a formerly Democrat-leaning state that votes for Trump by 9, 8, and 13 points. And also, Texas, while it might be able to become a swing state in the future, is, they voted for Trump by only 6 points over Biden. Now voted for Trump by 14 points, so there's going to be a lot more work needed to be done to convert Texas. Voter suppression in Texas might have actually been successful to keep Democrats away from the ballot box. Meanwhile, on the Democrat side, traditionally seen swing states like Colorado and Virginia really no longer swing states. I mean, Kamala Harris still won Virginia by 6 points, which is still better than Clinton, and she carried Colorado by 11 points. Both of these are decreases from the 10 and 13 points that Biden won them by. But again, Kamala Harris did not lose a lot of ground in these competitive states, which really shows they may no longer be swing states. I get that Virginia elected a Republican to be governor, but Colorado really can't be considered to be a swing state anymore. I mean, at this point, even New Mexico has gotten closer. However, what this could symbolize is swing states potentially forming in New Jersey. New Jersey only voted for Kamala Harris by 6 points. Could this be a new swing state? Remember, New Jersey was actually Republican-leaning until 1992, and then became a solid blue state in 1996. But in 2024, again, Harris wins New Jersey by only 6 points. Could this be a sign of the future that New Jersey is becoming more competitive? And traditionally solid Democrat states like New York and Illinois, Trump made huge inroads in. He only lost those states by around 11 and 13 points respectively. So that could be a sign of increasing competitiveness in traditionally solid Democratic states. On the converse, though, we can see, certain states becoming competitive and still remaining competitive after 2020, though. It's tough to really draw conclusions off of that based on, how this election went. So that's my number 3 conclusion. My number 2 conclusion is that, the Coachella effect is still not proven. Because the 2024 election, yes, Trump flipped 4 seats, but he won 8 seats that had Democrats up for election. Democrats still kept Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada, Arizona. So is it true that Trump had Coachellas? I don't know. And my number 1 biggest conclusion is that Americans are uneducated. Seriously, how did 49.8% of people vote for a guy that insurrected the Capitol 4 years prior?